And then walk a foot or so off the wall. Back up. So butt on the wall and walk the feet just slightly out.
Okay.
So it's almost like a sit, but your butt's on the wall still.
Okay.
So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be pushing the hips through the wall, and you're not going to make it through, right? So the higher up the hips go, the more length in that back, the more length in the back of the body. And then heels look great, second toe straight, close the hips. Same thing we did standing over here, thumbs at the base of the rib cage, pings on top of the pelvis. This is the standing decompression. Big expansion breath and drive the hips into that wall. As you push into the wall, that wall pushes back and you don't win the battle. So I could say we're gonna do that for 2 minutes, and by the end of that 2 minutes, you're gonna be shaking. If I give you a weight to deal with in the front of the body, it's gonna add what? Add tensegrity, add tension into the body, so it's gonna stimulate time under tension. These are the concepts to use with an isometric. And you're just holding. You just hold them. You can do alternating reaches. You can do underhand gyros, which I think is your juice. Okay. You got the shoulder dislocation, so you want that full range, and then you want tiny range, and you just want to stabilize it. And the further you get the rib cage forward, the more you push those hips into the wall.
Now I noticed on your first video, from the kneeling position, the hips forward, you had our elbows in, and then standing, they were out.
So I'll cue elbows below the shoulder.
Okay.
That helps pull pressure down. As soon as the elbow gets above the shoulder, you're really lengthening further down in the shoulder socket. You see, you're really down in here versus if you get the elbow down, it's more in the upper part.
Okay.
So the further down, you'll feel the contraction of the muscle down below. You'll feel the serratus, or like the wing of the shoulder, connects from the base of the shoulder blade up into each rib, in the armpit, basically. And then spread the fingers. We could do, there's a lot of wrist work you can do in this zone. Once you're locked in, elbows come further down, and you can work the wrist. You'll see a video out there that I've done where I drop, and I work the wrist down here. Okay. Where this is all packed and tight, so I know there's tension in the system, and I'm gonna work the wrist, work the fingers. You've got fingers together, fingers apart, fingers together, fingers apart. You've got flat fist, flat rooftop. Okay, you've got a flat finger fist, you've got a full fist, and then you've got a hook fist, and then you got a full finger. So flat, flat, trace them up, close it. And you'll find those zones in the wrist that don't quite have that stability. With that outstretched hand, the right side, bring it behind the ear when you're doing that, and you drop the other one in. And that is actually something I'll use to do. Keep it solid, keep things where they are, and you can move the head. Okay. Never move the shoulder and the head at the same time. Okay. You're just playing with fire with stretching the nerve in there. It's a nerve glide, but nerve glide is for people that have maybe an entrapment. Okay. I'm not just going to go, hey, we're going to do a ton of nerve glides today. It does feel good, but once again, you're stretching those tissues that I don't necessarily believe need to be stretched as much as they just need to be decompressed. And that's where these little movements with the shoulder open everything up. Pick up one foot. Let's do right foot. Yeah, pick up right foot. Put the heel on the front of the shin. Trace it up. Close the hips together. Good. Yep. Yeah. So now you're doing what we did in supine with the shin tracer, just on the wall. And you're pushing that left hip into the wall. And then can you keep your gaze high? Good. Can you reach that left hand up? You can take the left hand down and push it on the inside of the knee, just like you did with the tracer, and hold. This is where all the supine work is just standing, but you do it with the wall, so you've got pressure to push back into.
Yeah, left glute is just pressing into the wall.
So then turn and face the wall. Step back where you can't reach the wall comfortably. Good, and then fall into it, catch yourself with your hands. Good, that's gonna keep the heels off the ground. Close the hips, and then those same tracers.
It's closed.
Bring your hands tighter inside your shoulders. Good. Turn your chest slightly to the right.
Like that.
Yep. How's that feel? More pressure in that right hip?
Yep.
And then do the other side now. So wherever your chest turns, it loads that hip. If you can really turn the pelvis towards the left too, you'll get that knee to slightly open towards the outside of that left foot. Good work. Eyes up. Keep that spine long. Good. Parallel feet, both feet on the ground. I want you to open the knees. Good. Squat into that. Really take the hips back. And yeah, wonderful. You did it. Now you got the wall support for your squat to hinge.
Back up.
Yep. Close the hips. Good. Hips as far back as you can. So that wall is keeping you from falling forward on your nose.
It's crazy. I feel that in my left second toe. Usually the sensations in my right foot where I had surgery, but not this exercise.
Is it what's the sensation?
Just feeling this toe
Just
into the
the
ground.
tissue.
Yeah, it's not painful.
Because you know tingling, burning is nerve compression, and you want to come out of it if you feel any tingling, burning.
Okay, no tingling.
Any like pins and needles, any numbness. Everybody sat on the toilet too long and got up like my feet are asleep. It's because you sat on that nerve and it's gone to sleep. So you just come out of it, let it wake back up. Also, if you do have a compression of the nerve and you start to do this work, you may feel some of those tinglings as things come back online. Which is another good reason to just like come out of it. Most people do at that point though. Good work. That's the wall work. Front facing, dynamic,
I
bottom corner,
love that wall.
back facing. This is where like a plate, a 45-pound plate, even a 25-pound plate. You're taking that plate and you're trying to pull it apart, ripping it apart with the hands. Because now you have weight in the hands and now you have intention to pull it apart, so you're getting the spine, everything is wrapping around that spine, which just creates that power. You look at a Mike Tyson, he's back here, but shoot, he's coming through. Boom, it's all spine, it's all hip, pelvis. Everything back here is loaded until it's released, and really it just goes to the other side.
Okay.
Because that's the power of the pull and the press at the same time. It synchronizes.
Okay.
So that's the thought with the alternating reaches, which you understand with the pulling of the air, heavy air.
Heavy air.
You could also hanging off a cliff with the fingertips.
Okay.
That's another way to get good extensor tone.
Okay.
Cool.